Every man wants to stay strong, build muscle, and push limits in the gym. But after 40, the way you train needs to change. If you're still doing the same exercises you did in your 20s, you could be wrecking your joints, tearing muscles, and setting yourself up for injuries that take months to heal. That's why today, I'm breaking down 10 exercises every man over 40 should avoid. These movements put unnecessary stress on your body and increase your risk of serious, long-term damage. But don't worry, I'm not here to tell you to train less. I'm here to show you smarter, safer alternatives so you can keep making gains, stay injury-free, and train for life. I'll also give you safer, more effective alternatives so you can keep making gains while protecting your body. Let's get started. 1. Dumbbell flies. Dumbbell flies are one of those classic chest-building exercises, but they're also one of the most risky moves for your shoulders and pecs, especially as you age. When you're doing a dumbbell fly, you're placing your shoulders in a position of maximum stretch and external rotation. This means your shoulder joint is fully opened up, and all the tension from the dumbbell is pulling directly on your chest and rotator cuff tendons. If those tendons aren't as strong or elastic as they once were, which is common after 40, you're looking at a higher risk of strains, impingements, or even muscle tears, increased shoulder instability. As we get older, our connective tissues lose elasticity and don't respond as well to deep stretches under load. The extreme stretch at the bottom of a fly puts too much stress on the front of your shoulder capsule, making it easy to injure. High risk of pec tears. If you go too heavy, your pec muscles are forced into a position where they're fully stretched but still under tension, increasing the chance of a partial or complete pec tear. This is an injury that can take months to recover from and may even require surgery. Rotator cuff strain. The rotator cuff is a small group of muscles responsible for shoulder stability, and dumbbell flies can overload these tiny muscles in a way they weren't designed for. Over time, this can lead to chronic pain or even rotator cuff tears. Instead of dumbbell flies, try cable flies. Cables provide constant tension throughout the movement and allow for a safer, more controlled range of motion. Machine chest flies. A better option than free weights since machines support your joints while keeping the resistance controlled. 2. Leg press. The leg press seems like a safe way to build your legs, but for men over 40, it can cause more problems than it solves. While it's great for isolating your quads, it also puts your lower back and knees at serious risk if done incorrectly, or even if done correctly with too much weight. Spinal compression and disc damage. When you sit in a leg press machine, your lower back is fixed against the pad, but as you lower the weight, your pelvis can tuck under. This is called posterior pelvic tilt, and it forces your spine into a rounded position. Under heavy weight, this can put massive pressure on the spinal discs, increasing the risk of herniated discs and chronic lower back pain. Knee overload and ligament strain. The leg press encourages some lifters to lock out their knees at the top, which removes tension from the muscles and places all the force onto the knee joint itself. Over time, this can wear down the cartilage in your knees and contribute to arthritis, pain, and instability. Encourages ego lifting. Many guys stack on way too much weight on the leg press, but because it doesn't require as much stabilization as a squat, it gives you a false sense of strength. This leads to bad habits, poor form, and higher risk of injury. Instead of leg press, try goblet squats. These keep your spine in a natural position while forcing your core and legs to work together. Bulgarian split squats. These single leg movements not only build strength but improve stability, mobility, and balance. 3. Deadlifts. Now, before you attack me in the comments, yes, deadlifts are a great exercise, but they also have one of the highest injury risks, especially as you age. If you're not training for powerlifting, there's really no reason to go super heavy on conventional deadlifts when there are safer ways to train your posterior chain. Increased lower back strain. After 40, your spinal discs become more susceptible to wear and tear, meaning excessive spinal loading can cause disc herniations, sciatica, or chronic lower back pain. Hamstrings and glutes can take over. If your lower back is weaker than your legs, your hamstrings and glutes will compensate. This creates an imbalance which puts even more strain on the lumbar spine. Fatigue increases risk of injury. A single moment of poor form under heavy weight can lead to a serious back injury that sets you back for months. Instead of conventional deadlifts, try Romanian deadlifts. These focus on the hamstrings and glutes while keeping your lower back safer. Trap bar deadlifts. The trap bar reduces spinal loading and allows for a more natural lifting position. 4. Upright row with barbell. Upright rows have long been considered a great exercise for shoulder and trap development, but if you're over 40, they can be a joint killer, especially for your shoulders, wrists, and elbows. Here's why this exercise is a bad idea. High risk of shoulder impingement. When you pull the barbell up, your shoulders are forced into internal rotation, meaning your upper arm bone, humerus, presses against the acromion, part of the shoulder blade. This can pinch the tendons in bursa, leading to impingement syndrome, inflammation, and chronic pain. Rotator cuff. Wear and tear. The rotator cuff muscles stabilize your shoulder, but upright rows place them in an awkward, stressed position. Over time, this increases the risk of rotator cuff tendinitis or even full-blown tears. Wrist and elbow stress. The close grip and upward pulling motion put your wrists in an unnatural position, increasing strain on your tendons. This can lead to wrist pain, forearm tightness, and even tendinitis over time. Instead of upright row, try face pulls with a rope attachment. These work the rear delts and traps but in a safer, joint-friendly motion. Dumbbell lateral raises. This isolates the side delts without forcing internal rotation. 5. Traditional crunches. If you've been doing crunches for years thinking they're the best way to get abs, I've got bad news. They're actually one of the worst core exercises you can do as you age. Here's why crunches aren't worth it. Spinal compression. Crunches put repeated pressure on your lower back. The constant flexion, bending forward, can compress your spinal discs, increasing the risk of bulging or herniated discs over time. Neck strain. Many people pull on their neck while doing crunches, leading to neck pain, stiffness, and even headaches after workouts. Not the best for core strength. Crunches mainly target the rectus abdominis, six-pack muscles, but ignore deeper core muscles like the transverse abdominis and obliques, which are more important for stability and posture. Instead of crunches, try planks. Engage your entire core without spinal compression. Dead bugs. Strengthen your deep core muscles and protect your spine. 6. Free weight bench press. The bench press has been a staple in strength training for decades. But for men over 40, it can be one of the most dangerous chest exercises if not done correctly. While it builds strength and size, the risks far outweigh the rewards, especially as your joints and connective tissues lose elasticity and resilience with age. Why the bench press is risky. After 40 rotator cuff vulnerability. Your rotator cuff muscles, which help stabilize your shoulder, are more prone to wear and tear after years of use. The barbell locks your arms into a fixed range of motion, forcing the shoulders into deep external rotation, which can aggravate old injuries or create new ones. A weak or fatigued rotator cuff can cause instability, making it easier to strain or tear a muscle. Imbalance in strength. Between arms. A barbell forces both arms to lift together, which hides muscle imbalances. Over time, one side compensates for the weaker side, leading to uneven development, strain, and potential injury. This can exacerbate shoulder pain and create long-term movement issues. Excessive load on the joints. As we age, joint cartilage wears down. Heavy bench pressing compresses the shoulder and elbow joints, leading to chronic inflammation, stiffness, and even arthritis. If you've had previous injuries, heavy pressing can cause flare-ups, bursitis, or even labrum tears, pec tears, and chest strains. Many men try to lift the same weight they did in their younger years, ignoring decreased flexibility and recovery ability. This can lead to pec strains, or worse, a pec tear, which is a serious injury requiring months of recovery. Instead of try dumbbell bench press or incline dumbbell press 7, diamond push-ups. Diamond push-ups look like a simple triceps exercise, but they aren't joint-friendly, especially as you get older. While they target the triceps effectively, they come at the cost of wrist, elbow, and shoulder health. Why diamond push-ups are problematic. After 40, wrist strain and carpal tunnel risk. Placing your hands close together in a diamond shape forces extreme wrist extension, which can cause pain and inflammation over time. If you have existing wrist issues or carpal tunnel syndrome, this position aggravates the problem. Elbow overuse and tendinitis. The close hand position puts enormous strain on the elbow tendons, increasing the risk of triceps tendinitis, golfer's elbow. Over time, repetitive diamond push-ups can lead to chronic pain and stiffness in the elbows. Shoulder joint compression. The narrow hand position forces your shoulders into internal rotation, which puts unnecessary stress on the rotator cuff. This can increase the risk of impingement and front shoulder pain with repeated use. Instead of diamond push-ups, try close grip bench press with dumbbells. Parallel bar dips, assisted or weighted. Triceps. Rope pushdowns, behind the head shoulder press. This old-school exercise is one of the worst things you can do for your shoulders as you age. It might have been popular decades ago, but modern research shows it's a high-risk, low-reward movement. Why? The behind-the-head press is dangerous. After 40 extreme shoulder rotation equals impingement risk. This movement forces the shoulders into extreme external rotation, increasing the risk of impingement syndrome. Repeated stress in this position can lead to chronic inflammation or even a torn rotator cuff. Neck strain and spinal compression. Pressing the bar behind your head forces you to push your neck forward, which can lead to neck stiffness, headaches, and upper back pain. Over time, this can contribute to postural issues and even nerve compression. Lack of mobility suggests higher injury risk. Many men lack the shoulder mobility to safely perform this exercise without compensating, leading to joint stress and eventual injury. Instead of try dumbbell shoulder press, Arnold press landmine press 9. Front raises for shoulders. Front raises seem harmless, but they aren't necessary for most men over 40, and they can actually create more problems than they solve. Why front raises are a bad idea? After 40, front delts are already overworked. The front delts get plenty of work from bench presses, push-ups, and overhead pressing. Adding front raises can create muscle imbalances, leading to shoulder pain and posture issues. Shoulder impingement risk. Lifting a weight straight in front of you can cause tendon compression in the shoulder joint, leading to chronic pain or bursitis. Instead of try lateral raises. Reverse flies 10. Plyometric exercises. Plyometric exercises like box jumps, burpees, and depth jumps are great for explosive power, but they're also a recipe for disaster if you're over 40. As we age, our joints, tendons, and recovery ability aren't what they used to be. High-impact repetitive movements like plyometrics increase the risk of injury without offering enough benefits for most men over 40. Increased risk of knee injuries. Exercises like box jumps and burpees put immense stress on the knee joints, especially if you have past injuries, arthritis, or reduced cartilage cushioning. Higher chance of Achilles tears. The Achilles tendon loses elasticity with age, making explosive movements a leading cause of Achilles ruptures, which require months of recovery and possibly surgery. Poor landing mechanics equals higher injury risk. As we get older, our ability to absorb impact declines. A bad landing from a box jump or a poorly executed burpee can lead to ankle sprains, knee strains, or lower back injuries. Longer recovery time. In your 20s, you might recover from a high-impact workout quickly. But after 40, recovery takes longer, and these types of exercises increase inflammation and joint stress, leading to chronic pain or lingering soreness. Instead of try step-ups with weights, strengthen your legs and glutes with less impact on the joints. Low-impact cardio, rowing, cycling, swimming. Keep your heart strong without pounding your joints. Controlled jump. Training lands softly. If you want explosive power, limit reps, focus on soft landings, and avoid high-impact depth jumps. All right, guys, that wraps up the 10 exercises every man over 40 should avoid if you want to train smarter, stay injury-free, and keep making gains for years to come. Remember, the goal isn't just to lift heavy today, it's to stay strong and keep lifting for life. Avoiding these risky exercises and using safer, more effective alternatives will help you build muscle, protect your joints, and stay pain-free. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe for more fitness content, and let me know in the comments. Which exercise are you replacing in your routine?